I hope everyone's doing well this morning. This may not be a super long video. So a couple of things, just like a housekeeping, as we like to say in the amongst the engineers. You guys may see somewhat more short vids and less long ones going into the future. And that's purely a function of the fact that even though it's summer, I'm in graduate school again for my last class. And yeah, that takes a little bit of time. And it's a very open-ended class, this one, because we're looking at risk management, investment, and energy infrastructure. So it's a lot of interesting material. And I got to tell you, some of the best, hey, coffee, some of the best material I've gotten has been through some of my college courses. They just pop in. Hey, KP. Hey, Michelle. Welcome, welcome. Ohio. Hey, Demon Man. What's going on? Demo Man, Demon Man. Where the hell? This is what happens when you try to read small print with no glasses. Although Demon Man would be a cool YouTube handle, too. Yeah, assuming you don't summon a demon by accident, then that could be bad. I hope everyone's doing well. So, hey, Neil, what's going on? So, folks, it's a new season. We're going into the summer, and it's new season. We got to start looking at our get-home bags, or everybody does that. Yeah, you know what it is? It looks so small from here. And, you know, obviously I'm not like looking here. I'm stopped at a light now and I'm like, hey, and then I screw it up. It's terrible. I've been on a roll this week of saying things all dyslexic. I don't know if you can catch dyslexia, but I think I have it this week. I've just said stuff and then I'd stop mid-sentence and go, what the hell did I just say? That makes zero sense. Anyway, so I hope everyone's doing well. Those of you who were in the storms yesterday, I'm glad to see on YouTube people were posting that everyone seems to be okay. A few folks reported minor damage, not here in Texas. This was Northeast, like Oklahoma, Tennessee. I don't know if Ohio got hit. But hey, Billy. Hey, Neil. Neil, if you are where you can do so, would you mind sharing silver and gold today? I'm super curious where it went. I'm doing a bunch of investment class right now, investment theory in my class right now, and I've got all sorts of numbers floating around my head. So, and I know you keep track of this very closely. But in any case, folks, so we got through spring and most of us are still in one piece. Did you see blue rain in Texas? No, I did not. We've had no rain here since that last storm. We have dust. Like, here, I'll show you real quick. That's what I'm driving through today. Like, there are drilling rigs and pump jacks and broke down cars, and every now and then a cow and a coyote. So we had a charity golf tournament last week, and I was working at 10, so we're like giving out beers. We got everyone drunk. I was sober. I was eating tacos. I got everyone else drunk. And coyotes just started running across the green. And, ooh, platinum. 32 silver. Wow, I'm really loving picking up. But, you know, silver tracks with the dollar. It's a really good sign of inflation. Because if you buy silver at 12 and then it's 32 a few years later, that tells you your dollar devalued. If you assume silver is still silver, if that makes sense. So interesting to see that. I'm really loving the fact I got a bunch of silver at 12 and 14 years ago. But anyway, folks, so, and Neil, have you put out any videos on the metals recently? Because I'm not getting anyone's notifications. They're coming in. I'm getting notifications from Hudson Valley from 6 months ago. He's not only my mod, we do the Four Horsemen every week. And Vision got one of my videos from a year ago. And he was like, this just popped up on my screen. So, hey, Rabid Coyote. So, okay, so if you want to find the more information on precious metals and investment, stuff like that, Neil's is posting vids. So We only have a 3-month supply of platinum. But in any case, so we're getting into a new season. Officially speaking, hurricane season starts June 1st. In Texas, lately we've seen the busiest time of year is later. So going into September into October is when we've had the really nasty hurricanes in Texas. But Katrina was an early season hurricane when it hit Louisiana. I think it was in June, July. And it clobbered the shit out of New Orleans, as we all know. So 3309, damn. I should have picked up a little more. I'm gonna have to watch the silver a little bit. By the way, a lot of my silver purchases are for my grandkids. So I figure if I buy a 20-ounce silver bar now and give it to my granddaughter when she's 18, 20 years old, when she's old enough to be mature about it, that could be a hell of an investment for her in the future. Huh, that's interesting, Neil. I did not know that. But now's a good time for those of you who live on in the coast or on the south to start looking at hurricane preps, right? Now, the fundamentals will be the same, okay? And this is how I got into prepping, was the damn hurricanes. Water, food, first aid, lighting. If you live on the Gulf Coast, you have other things like bug spray, because the mosquitoes, after everything floods and the waters recede, the mosquitoes become a real pain in the ass, and you can get sick from certain bites. Ticks are another issue in the green areas. Now keep in mind, if you're not on the coast, that does not make you immune, right? Because the storms, once they break up, become nasty thunderstorm systems, and they go right up the East Coast, and they go beat up Ohio and Virginia and Tennessee, gets them. North Carolina's still trying to dig out of what happened to them earlier. So there's a lot that goes on after a hurricane blows through. So the fundamentals are the same. What I will do, though, because of where I live, I just showed you a video where I live, it's really in the middle of nowhere. Water storage is going to be a big deal for me. Having a water filter is great, but you actually need water to filter, right? You can't take sand and filter and get water. So for me, that's something I had to do differently when I went from the coast out to West Texas. We're on a high plateau here. It's dry. There are not many natural water sources. So for me, water storage for a period of time is what really came in important. Hey, Canadian. Hey, the greatest. So I'd encourage all of you, take a minute now and look at your preps. Do you have water? Do you have food? Do you have first aid kit? What condition's your vehicle in? And the reason this video popped in my head was I'm actually headed to get my vehicle service. Just a routine service. Is under warranty for the new vehicle, so I'm just going in for my routine stuff. But this is a good time to take a minute and say, did I do my oil change in time? Do I need to check my brakes? Rotate the tires, whatever it is you think you need to do. Hey, Caribbean House. Don't wait until a storm hits. I can't tell you during Ike and Rita in particular how many people evacuated and their car broke down because they got stuck in traffic and the car was not in good shape. And it overheated right there on the street. And then they made the traffic worse because now your car is out of order. And what's worse, they were always in like the middle lane or in the left lane instead of being on the right. You're on the right lane and you break down, you put it in neutral and you push it off the road and at least let everyone else keep going by. And usually if you need help in a hurricane, people will get out and say, hey, let me help you push your car off the road. At least in Texas, they're really good about that. Help you get off the road and then you manage your problem. But if you break down in the middle lane or the left lane and there's nowhere to go, you've just screwed everyone. So, hey, good morning, Devil Dog. So, it's really important. Keep your vehicle in shape. If you have livestock, it's a great time to have your animals checked, looked at. If you have a vet that'll come, make sure all your animals are okay. Most of you, if you have those kind of animals, already know how to tell if they're healthy or not. But those of you who are newer, you know, have also your pets. I'm gonna go make sure my dog shots are up to date. Now's a great time to do it. What you don't want to do is in the middle or just before an event be like, oh shit, my dogs don't have their shots, my car didn't get the oil change, my tires are low. Hey JD, what's going on? You don't want to wait until the hurricane's on the radar. When you see it forming way out in the Caribbean or way out in the Atlantic, they usually are pretty decent about tracking the general direction of it. That's a great time to say, do I have batteries? Do I have whatever it is I need? Hey, good morning, WROL. How are you? So don't wait until you have to take action. Remember, prepping is not about, oh my God, the zombies are going to get me. It's more about giving yourself an option or options during a crisis, whatever the crisis may be. It doesn't have to be a hurricane, and I've said this before. You could get laid off from work. That might be a very personal SHTF for you right there. You're like, wow, I don't have a lot of money stored because, you know, we went through some stuff. I don't have a lot of reserves. I need to get back to work, but I have food and I have amenities at the house, which means I don't have to hit the groceries as much. I don't have to spend gas money going to and from the grocery store. I have amenities here I can use as a resource until I get that new job. So keep in mind, sorry, need a cane. Now's a good time. You have that change in weather. Check your forecasts. Also, you may want to change what's in your vehicle. So any winter gear I have in here is going to leave, and I'm going to replace it with, and because rain gear also is great if there's any kind of pollutant coming down. You know, you can take, obviously not like chemical weapons, but if you have like debris or other stuff, it's very easy to clean off a poncho with a hose. If you're on the road and you have to drive, or you're going to be exposed to some type of contaminant, having good rain gear, you know, if you have, that's a great time for a respirator mask. If you have particles and debris in the air, it doesn't work well for, you know, super microbes like Rona, but for sheetrock and dirt in the air, you know, a normal mask does great things. So see if you have those amenities in your vehicle. And now's a great time to do it. Don't wait until, oh no, the hurricane's 48 hours away, because then you're going to be with all the sheep in the grocery store freaking out, instead of saying, okay, what little gaps do I need to fill, and now what's my next step? I want to be thinking about my next step when the hurricane starts headed my way. I don't want to be thinking about my basics when the hurricane heads my way. I should have double-checked my basics the minute it formed in the Atlantic. So take your time, and also remember, if you decide to bug out, we have a lot of new drivers. It's the kids are graduating. You're going to have a lot of college kids on the road. High school kids are going to be on the road. What you don't want to do is be out there with a bunch of stupid kids who don't know. They're just they're ignorant. They don't have experience in driving. They may be trying to drive grandma to evacuate. You don't know. You don't want to expose yourself to that risk. You want to leave. If you're going to leave and go to your friend or family's house, leave before the storm gets there, not just right before. You want to be gone days before. Lock up the house, secure everything, and get. If you're going to bug in, you want to have hit the road, get whatever you're missing, any little holes you have to fill, and then make your way and shut down the house and bug in. You don't want to be on the road last minute when the storms come up. So do those tune-ups. If you can do them yourself, you have a good place to work, great. If you can't, go to their auto shop, go to the dealership, get your maintenance done. Check your first aid kits, check your food, check your water. This is not something that should be frightening. This should be part of a routine. You know, pilots and engineers like myself, we have checklists, right? I'm going to do a certain project. I have a checklist. I'll write it down and say, okay, did I do task 1? Yes. Can I do task 2? Yes. Did I do task 3? No. Well, can I do 4 without 3? Well, no, I can't. All right, so now I have to deal with that. Actually, I know one prepper, I kid you not, typed out on Excel or Word, I don't know where she typed it out, a checklist of hurricane shit. She calls it the hurricane shit checklist. She prints it every May, and then she checks it off and puts it on her fridge. And as she, oh, I got canned goods, check. I got an extra water, check. And she just literally old school, like crayon check. She gets the kids involved too. So if the little kids go with her and they get the AA batteries, the kid takes their little crayon and they put a little X on the batteries, right? And now the family's into it. So do the tin up on my truck, oil change, new brakes, disc drum, yeah. So hey, Cheryl, no, absolutely, I'm glad I could help. So now's a good time, and if you can't keep track of it, you're not sure what you need, there's so many websites. Believe it or not, FEMA.gov has a really good basic list. You can start there. And you can print it out and it has the little check boxes. And you can put it on the fridge and just work your way down. You should not be out of budget. You should not break the bank. It should be, oh, I'm shopping for green beans. I'm going to get a case of water. Check, order. Oh, my first aid kit sucks because the kids used it on the dog. So first aid kit, you go. By the way, if you have insurance, you can use your FSA or HSA card to buy an expense off a first aid kit. So if you do have those resources, look for that as well. And folks, generally speaking, just go down the checklist. It should not be a panic. It should not be scary. It should be a 101. I've done some videos on my channel. You're probably going to have to look for them because it's been a while, about hurricane prepping early on. But there are also groups I'm still a member of on Facebook who are Houston area, Gulf Coast area, Louisiana area, hurricane prepper groups. And they're constantly sharing knowledge and product reviews amongst themselves. Ask to be invited. Most of them are closed groups. You can tell them, hey, I'm new to this. I just want to ask questions and make friends. And I promise you, most folks will be very excited to see a new member jump in. So, folks, this shouldn't be scary. This should be very straightforward. It should be on budget. It's hurricane season in a few days. So, or a week, actually. Sorry, I'm a week off. Hey, Hudson, what's going on? Always good to see you. Mate, you driving and streaming, that's dangerous. Hands are free on the wheel, my friend, but you are right. One should be careful when driving and streaming. But point being, be safe. Be careful. Remember, do your homework. Don't spend money you don't need to spend. And don't panic. Make a checklist and just go down the checklist. And then if you think you're missing something, then start researching and looking into that. And remember, get the best deal you can. A lot of us have affiliate links. If you're going to get something and there's a good deal, great. But at the end of the day, if you can save 10% more going to, I don't know, Costco, and it's closer and more convenient, it's on the way to or from work, do that. There's no shame, especially in an inflationary environment, to save that extra money, because that's money you can put to something else, right? So remember, your time, your money, your energy, and your space are very important resources that we don't really talk about enough, and that's why I keep repeating that. Those are important to preserve as much as you can. So folks, hurricane season's here. No panic. Take your time. Write a list. Follow the list and stay on a budget. Don't freak out. Okay, and remember, yeah, the things you save for a hurricane you can use for a zombie apocalypse if you worry about that too. But remember, it's the 90% likely things that always eat our lunch, right? The car accidents, tornadoes, hurricanes, floods. Is an EMP possible? Absolutely. Would it be catastrophic? Absolutely. Is that a high probability? Probably not. Is it possible? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, certainly is. But I'm more worried about the tornadoes, the hailstorms, the car accidents that put you in the hospital for 6 months. That, like I said, that's a personal SHTF. And that's the kind of thing you should keep in the back of your mind when you prep for the hurricanes, floods, tornadoes is, wow, this can also be used if one of us loses our job. Be practical. You guys be good, be safe out there, and thanks for joining me. I gotta go check in with these guys over here. But you guys stay safe and, you know, be smart, be calm, stay on budget. We'll see you guys later on.